Buying a dream house is one in every of the foremost milestones of any individual's life. The worth of assets is increasing day by day. The designer and flashy homes that charm America the foremost are on the far side the monetary capabilities of a great deal of people. However, this truth shouldn't deter America from fulfilling such a dream. With wide offered low-interest mortgages, currently even a standard man will own the residence of his selection. Starting with the fundamentals, mortgage could be a variety of loan that any person will take, so as to shop for a home or a property. The property being bought is employed as collateral to the loan. This usually means if the repayment schedule of the mortgage isn't complied with absolutely, the loaner will take the possession of your property, and sell it to recover his quantity. Any mortgage deal, whether or not it's the primary one, or a remortgaging effort, needs a great deal of labor. The simplest recommendation given by any loaner is smartly disguised to suit his interest the foremost. So, the primary issue that any recipient ought to do is to require a better check-up on any lender's recommendation and compare it with different offers floating within the market. Choosing the mortgage that's right for you and obtaining the simplest deal involves taking a great deal of selections. The two main things that need the best attention are the interest rates charged for the mortgage and therefore the compensation technique of the mortgage. The rate of interest to be bought mortgages are determined by the bottom rates prevailing within the loan market. A recipient ought to select an occasional interest mortgage, since the lower the interest rate, the lower are going to be the monthly compensation. At any given purpose of your time, the recipient may get many supply for mortgage. Every loaner has completely different conditions and charges. The recipient is suggested to not succumb to any supply with low-cost initial interest rates. Instead, he or she ought to check up on all the options of mortgage before accepting any deal. As for the compensation technique, the recipient has two choices: a compensation mortgage or an interest-solely mortgage. In a compensation, the recipient has got to pay off the number in equally spaced installments. The installments step by step recover the principal quantity in addition to the interest from the recipient. Thus, the mortgage is absolutely paid by the top of an agreement term. In an interest-solely mortgage, solely the interest is charged within the installments. The principal quantity isn't enclosed within the monthly repayments. The arrangement to repay the principal quantity is formed by different means that, typically at the top of the mortgage term or is in agreement between the two parties. The mortgage quantity is warranted by some investment in shares, or stock. The recipient has got to confirm that his investment grows, therefore unpay the mortgage by the top of an agreement term. Most lenders can supply mortgage up to 95% of the property's worth into consideration. However, the recipient may need to pay the next loaning charge if he borrows quite 75% of his property worth. There are different prices additionally, that are primarily involved a mortgage. The loaner may raise you to deposit in quantity up to 3 to 10% of the selling price of the property. Valuation fees, solicitors' fees and better loaning charges additionally step up the worth of mortgage. After choosing a mortgage, the recipient has got to apply formally to the loaner. He ought to pay attention to fill all told the small print rigorously. If he feels confused at any stage, he ought to take the assistance of a monetary advisor, rather than creating wrong assumptions. If everything goes swimmingly, the recipient can before long receive a mortgage supply. A guide to home mortgage rates. Home mortgages are loans that are taken to shop for a property, that the property itself is employed as collateral. Owning a house is a really huge, and typically a one-time investment for several. With increasing assets costs and decreasing interest rates on loans, many of us are mistreatment the house mortgage loans to shop for property. Home mortgage rates are the rates of interest that are to be paid together with the capital for taking the real estate loan. Home mortgage rates don't stay steady over an extended amount of your time. A lower rate means that lower monthly payments, resulting in lower prices on the property. Betting on the type of rate, there are two varieties of home mortgage loans: mounted rate mortgages (FRMs) and adjustable rate mortgages (ARMs). FRMs are mortgages that the speed of interest remains an equivalent for the whole amount of the loan. These may be for an amount of 10, 15, 20 or maybe 30 years. Adjustable rate mortgages, on the opposite hand, have unsteady rates of interest. This is often ideal once there's probability of the rates to decrease. ARMs are most popular by those that arrange for shorter periods. ARMs are offered at lower rates than FRMs to draw in customers, however they additionally contain a particular level of risk. The mounted rate mortgages are a really sure, safe possibility. Mortgage rates fluctuate on the premise of an economic index. The mortgage bond market works per a method known as securitization. This securitization permits creation of a lot of loans and larger quality of funds by keeping the mortgage rates low and permitting a lot of credit for ideal customers. The best supply for knowing regarding home real estate loan rates is that the web. Most home real estate loan corporations offer info through their websites additionally. These rates are updated daily. Their sites even have easy-to-use home mortgage calculators that offer all info, together with payments to be created monthly and therefore the tax blessings, with the only click of a button. Most of them even have monetary advisors. United Nations agency would offer recommendation online, or over the phone. An expert mortgage loaner would be able to offer correct info regarding the real estate loan rates as and after they are applicable.